So my name's Maggie. I'm 35 and I am a cosmetologist. I own my own shop in my house. What do you like most about yourself? My laugh, I think, is really loud, and you can hear it echo wherever I am if I'm really laughing, and I love to laugh. What do you like least about yourself? Sometimes I say too much, and I can tell when I've said too much because you can see that look in people's eyes like, oh my god, shut up. But so yeah, because I'm really honest about myself. Like I've prayed for tact, to use tact when I'm speaking to people so that it'll be received, whatever the Lord has for me to say to them. But I guess I kind of tell too much of my story sometimes for people. How do you think people see you? Sometimes I think maybe a little abrasive. Maybe I'm not as friendly as I should be sometimes because I let the insecurity that, oh, they don't really want to talk to me, that sort of thing, I start thinking. So I tend to be kind of standoffish sometimes. What would you want people to know about you? I don't know, because there's not a whole lot people don't know. What is your biggest regret? Not following Jesus sooner. Like, especially here lately, I've been looking back. I had lost a child with my ex-husband. We weren't married, and it was before I got pregnant with my son. And I got saved after my miscarriage, and there were some sweet women that tried to tell me, you don't have anything tying you to him anymore. Like, if y'all want to still date, date. But, if y'all break up, just know that's just the Lord, and I was so broken and so desperate to be loved and to feel wanted that I just couldn't leave. And of course, I would come home crying because I think I knew that's what I should do. I just couldn't do it. And of course he would say, well, you shouldn't come home crying like this, and because we were living together, and he said, church should make you happy. And so of course I chose him over Jesus, and we stayed together. And just the heartbreak that came from that marriage and putting my son through that, like, I wouldn't trade anything for my son, because I found out I was pregnant with him almost the day to that, a year later, that I had the miscarriage. It was like the same time. So I didn't know I wanted him. I didn't know I wanted the first baby until I was pregnant. But anyway, so that's my biggest regret, is just not saying yes sooner, because it could have saved a whole lot of people a whole lot of heartache. I was 21 when I got saved, but I didn't really know the Lord start to know the Lord until in 2014, I think. The Lord had been, I had been struggling with promiscuity and drugs and alcohol, and I was just trying to mask over the pain, but I stayed in the Word, but I was dealing with my pain the way I had known how. So when I knew the Lord was calling me to take a vow, to make a promise with him, and on March 19th of 2014 I took a purity vow, and ever since then, I have just known really truly who he is. Like, he's not just a giver. He doesn't just do things for us. I mean, the grace and the blessing and the comfort. The comfort that I have experienced from getting to know him. A freedom, just freedom. Greater than anyone can ever explain to you is like how free. I don't do drugs anymore. I don't have sex with random people anymore, or at all, really. And I don't drink. I don't find a need to. What I love about God is, I would say his comfort first, and then his patience, because he comforts you as he's patient with you. I've been like a year and a half on and off with someone, and I knew it wasn't a relationship I needed to be in, but it was just someone, like, I could block him on everything and he would show up at my doorstep, and it was one of those things that I just could not say no. And I knew that he was going to take me doing something really heinous for him to not want me, and just realizing that I can't do this anymore, because he was the last in a long line of people, and it was just, knowing that none of them really want me, and I need to get to the bottom of some things. I knew I couldn't keep going on, and the Lord had pretty much told me, if you keep going on the way you are, there's not going to be any coming back. And that's the one thing that I think keeps me sober, because there have been times that I've wanted to just, this is so hard. This is so hard. This is so incredibly lonely. Like, I know everybody's out and they're doing stuff, and I'm just sitting here. But I broke free. He just told me, you need to stop. Like, you can't keep doing this. And, he'll bring out different people, like, in the Bible to me at different times, like that, I'll admire for a season because of what they went through. And I think Psalms is what really got me through that, because I was dealing a lot with a lot of enemies, a lot of people saying a whole lot of stuff, friends in my face, and then, when I'm not around. And it's just really just, in those hard times, pressing into the Lord, even when you don't feel like it, when you feel like going out to the bar, when you feel like calling up that person that you don't need to be hanging out with, tell him, hey, I really want to use right now. I really want to call this person, and I need you to do something with that. Not rudely, like, you need to do your job, but more like, I need you to do something here, because I am desperate. I'm in a desperate place, and I cannot keep doing this, and I know this is not what you want me to do. What would you say to the young women of this generation? Oh, so much. If your boobs and your butt have to be hanging out for a dude to speak to you, that's not the dude you want speaking to you. I just see, the things that we look up to. Like, even me at being 35, I don't feel like 35, I still feel like I'm in my 20s. But Kim Kardashian, Amber Rose and her slut walk. And we think that's empowering. We think it's empowering to, and I've heard people say, if you hang a steak out in front of a dog, you can't expect him not to bite it. And I think, first of all, that we need to think more of our men than that they're dogs, and we need to treat them better than that. If we expect them to treat us better than a piece of meat, we can't expect anyone else to love us or anyone else to respect us if we aren't first loving and respecting ourselves. And loving and respecting ourselves isn't thinking so highly of us that we flip our hair and, give people the cold shoulder. Self-respect is, that we smile at people in the street, that we can say hi, we have a nice word for strangers,